I'm not sure what person to tell this story in. I'm not sure what you guys are supposed to see while I tell the story. And I've never told my story verbally. I've always written it down. So, this will be a growing process. And as we progress through the story, we will probably refine our skills. So I'm the Oracle of Wisdom. Or better, more formally, I am the Sproutin McLegg, the all-seeing, all-knowing Oracle of Wisdom. I come from Yushan. I am one of the chosen of secrets. Called my home Yushan, but it never really felt like a home there. This isn't the part of the story that we're telling right now, though. So we'll backtrack to my story eventually. Because while this is my story, it is also someone else's story. I mean, how boring would it be if we only had one character in the story? No, yeah, sorry. The bad jokes have come many, many lifetimes through. I'm here to tell you about the prophecy of the blinded sun. The blinded sun was not born to that name, but I will not use her real name here. We will just call her the blinded sun, or the darkness, or eternity, whatever. You'll know who she is in context. The blinded sun was born in the Onyx Isles in the land of the dead. Her origin is somewhat of a mystery, because being flesh and blood, there's not a real sure determination on how she got to the Deadlands. I mean, I'm the Oracle of Wisdom, and I can't tell you. I'm all-knowing. I can't tell you. I guarantee that Helios, Luna, Mars, Mercury, even Jupiter, the Chosen of Secrets, can't tell you. Saturn might know. Anyway. She was cared for by the locals, the residents, which translates to the dead. Her family, everyone that she knew, everyone that loved her, they were all ghosts, wraiths, some form of past life. Unliving, no longer alive, whatever. Now, this story takes place in the first age of man. I guess I should have probably told you that. And in the first age of man, creation was still new. Gaia had just given the names out, and everybody still... There was a lot of primordial chaos energy. A lot of the Fey realm still existed on the planet today. Or then, at that time, than it does today. So energies were malleable. Nothing was set the way that it is now. But a few laws had come into creation. The one that matters the most to the story for right now, for now, is the law of creation, or the rules, whatever, that the dead were separated from the living. And they were separated from the living by the sun's light. So wherever Helios' blazing illumination touched the land, the dead could not reside there. They lived in specific, almost like reservations, where they were allowed to still be on the Earth realm, but not be all over the Earth realm. It was like an underground shadow that wasn't really underground. Yeah. Kind of like a cave made out of thick umbral mucus. But it was more like smoke. So, she liked her life. She was a happy kid. She had like a couple friends or whatever, and she had several parents that cared for her. Somehow they managed to feed her and clothe her and keep her alive, even though they weren't. 12 years passed, and she was sort of revered in the Deadlands. There had been a prophecy since the day that Helios' light split the land of the living from the land of the dead. That one of the dead would come able to walk in light, and that it would reset the balance from the unconquered sun. That this hero of the dead would right the wrong of restricting life and no longer life from being together. So, as she was raised and revered, she was told the story, and part of the prophecy was that the one who would right the wrong would be accompanied by an ancient sword. The sword by the name of Jor the Merciless. And Jor was a flying, talking sword, according to legend. And the dead happened to know the location of Jor, because, well, I guess they wouldn't have known the exact location, but they had really good directions, is all I can say to you for sure. And she had no trouble once she got there. But anyway, it's jumping ahead. In order to embark on this quest, the blinded son, the 12-year-old kid, had to leave her home, her safety, her sanctuary in the Deadlands. And she would have to cross the land of the quick, the land of the living, the land of Helios' light. So she couldn't bring her friends with her. No one could accompany her on this journey. No one that she'd ever known. There was literally no consciousness that existed at that time that could go with her on this journey. She had to walk alone, a child. But she wasn't scared. She had resolve of steel. She knew what she was doing this for. It was to save her family and to right the wrongs that had been committed against them. So she prepared for her journey. Her family came to the edge where you could see the sun, but not feel it. The blinded son said her farewells. She assured them she'd be back soon. She took a deep breath, and she stepped across the cusp of the shadow into the light. At that very moment, that her first foot touched the ground within Helios' light, he exalted her. The dead weren't the only ones who had heard the prophecy. Helios had gotten a tip from Lady Luna. I can't say for sure where Luna got the information, but there was rumor that the one destined to bring Helios down into the darkness to his death, to destroy his reign of unconquered, was heading out on her journey to find the sword that would slice Helios open and let his blood magma spill upon the earth. Yeah. So Helios and Luna derived a plan together in secret. And at that moment, in the sky appeared an eclipse. For no more than seconds, they spoke, for they couldn't afford to let anyone else hear. They couldn't let anyone else know that they were worried about the prophecy, let alone acting against it. Luna moved on. Helios closed his eyes. And before the next season, the blinded son took that step out of the darkness. When her foot touched the ground, her entire being exploded with light. the sun's light, Helios's light. Half of her body was still in the Deadlands. And the light of the sun, for the first time since the rule had been made, penetrated the darkness, exploding, burning, blinding, destroying. The blinded sun dropped to her knees, completely in shock. She turned her head back to where she had come from, and she watched everyone who'd come to see her off turn into vapor dust because of her body transmitting the sun's light into their home. At that moment she stood, and she screamed to the heavens. She would destroy the sun for the crimes he'd committed against her and her family. There was no one there to hear her vow, but she heard it. The nothingness heard it. Helios and Luna heard it. And the world felt it. For the age of the cult of the blinded sun was starting.